right, so imagine it is July 20th, 1969, and the whole world is waiting to hear if Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin are going to be the first people to set foot on the surface of the moon. So all of human existence, the only place that people have existed has been on this blue marble that you can see rising above the moon's horizon. But Neil Armstrong didn't make it to the moon all by himself. He didn't build the rocket. There's a whole team of ground control support crew in Houston, and there were people all over the world that were making parts for the Apollo 11 rocket and for all the other missions that paved the way for him to get there, and for him to say that this is one small step for man, one great leap for mankind. So, my name's Isaac Mann, and I work for NX, and one of our main goals as a company is to be that ground support crew for you to accomplish great things and to push the boundaries of human achievement. And so there's two kind of styles of using NX that I'm going to talk about today, package-based repos and integrated repos. And I'm going to be going through a demo of how you can start with a package-based repo and incrementally move over to an integrated repo. All right, so let me define my terms a little bit. Package-based repo is one that's focused on flexibility and experimentation. All the different packages are configured in wildly different ways. Whereas integrated is focused on consistency and maintainability. So every app that uses the same framework should be set up the same way. Devs move from one project to another. They shouldn't have to relearn how to do everything. They could just get to work. Maintainability, when you update a framework, you should be able to update all the apps all at the same time and keep everything up to date. So those are the two different styles. All right, so why was I talking about the Apollo program? I think the Apollo program is a great example of kind of a package-based mindset. So it was highly revolutionary. Everything they were doing was brand new. No one knew if this was even possible at all. So they were inventing new things every single mission. They were trying out new things, seeing if it was going to work. It was also dangerous. There was high risk. There were missions that failed. There were people who died. Now, I'm not saying package-based repos are going to kill you, but so anyway, this approach can work if you have the same people who created the setup still working there for the whole course of the project. So that was the case with the Apollo program. People worked through this from 1962 to 69. There was intense, directed focus from leadership. There's heavily supported in terms of money and manpower. And so it worked. They accomplished their goal. On the other hand, the International Space Station, I believe this is an example of an integrated kind of mindset. So the challenge here is not can we do this? Everyone knows it's possible to orbit the Earth. The challenge here is one of coordination and maintenance over a long time. So coordination, we have lots of different countries all creating parts for the International Space Station, and all those parts have to be able to work together. And there are people, astronauts on this station that's been continuously habited for 23 years now, and every new shift, every new set of crew members needs to be able to operate all the same machinery in a consistent, easy process. So the whole challenge here is about maintenance and consistency, and they're still pushing the boundaries, but they're not pushing the boundaries of whether or not we're going to survive. They're pushing the boundaries of what kinds of research can we get done, what kinds of interesting new things can we explore and discover here. All right, so demo time. I'm going to need your help with this. I need to do a demo from going from package-based to integrated repo in 15 minutes. So if I don't get this done in 15 minutes, Laura's going to come up here and tackle me and throw me off the stage. So I'm going to switch over here. I'm going to pull up a timer. And I want you to be watching this timer, if you can see it down at the bottom of my screen here. When it gets to like 1 minute, I want everyone to shout out 1. When it gets to 2, shout out 2, so I can stay on track. All right? So let's start counting down here. Count down with me. 3, 2, 1, and go. All right. So this is a space station tracker that I downloaded from GitHub. I just want to show you what it's doing in the first place here. So it's ISS tracker, and it shows you this is where the ISS is right now, and you can enter in where you are. and it'll show you when you can look up in the sky and see the ISS passing overhead. So here in New York, it looks like tomorrow night, you'll have 1 minute of seeing the ISS pass by, and then other times where you can look up there. All right, so we're going to start with the first feature of adding some caching. So we're going to add nx here. I'm using version 16.7.4 because that was the version when I tried this out. So build needs to run in order. Build, test, and lint are cacheable, and the build script has some output, test, and lint do not. I'm going to skip distributed caching because that's an extra 10 seconds that I don't have in this time. Oh, 1 minute. All right, good. OK, so I'm looking at the nx.json here, and I need to update this output here. It's actually outputting to the workspace root and then the dist folder underneath that. All right, so let's see if everything still works. OK, I'm running everything that's in the repo here. And OK, looks like everything passed. Test, build, and lint, that's all passed. We have caching working. 1:36 in, we have our first feature done. So let's commit that. We've got caching. OK, next up, I want to share some types. So if I go to the web, so there's two projects here. There's a web project and a server project. And the web project is using this, has this any type here. And this is actually a type that's defined on the server. 2 minutes. And so the type here is iCleanData, which is defined on the server. So I want to create a new project that is a shared project that both of them are going to use the types that are defined there. So I'm going to take this out of here, and I'm going to make a new file in here. Let's see. Click at the bottom, and we're going to go shared source index.ts. I'm going to paste in that type. And then here at the top, I need that Luxon date time type here. All right, so we've got that there. And then we need to add some config files here. So we need a package.json, shared package.json. OK, so it's got the name in there, kind of a basic basic setup. This is fun. I like this. And then I need a tsconfig.json. So shared tsconf. OK, good. Now we need to go to the server side, and everywhere that's using that type, we need to update it to import from shared. So iCleanData, good. All right, so that's there. And then we need to, in the tsconfig, allow it to import from outside the root directory. In our package.json, because we're using npm workspaces here, we need to define shared as a dependency. OK, so that should work for the server. And we need to also add the shared project here to workspaces. All right, now let's go to the client side. We're going to import from, here, let me run npm install to get npm workspaces set up correctly. Import from shared, and iCleanData. This is good. OK, so now we've got the type imported here. Now we need to fix some typings. To string, that's good. And then these, if they're undefined, it should be an empty string. All right, let's see if this works. If everything was correct, then if we run this, let's do an nx reset just to make sure that it's actually working. OK, it's running it. And we got test, lint, and build running successfully. We're at 5 now. And then if I run an nx graph here, nx knows that we've got server and web. Oh, it's because I missed a step. In our package.json, we need to include shared. So we'll close that, run nx.graph again. Okay, good. So server and web are both importing from shared. All right, we've got shared types. We got 2 out of 6 features done. Are we going to make it? We'll see. All right, shared types. Next. Okay, so we're importing, web is importing from shared and server is importing from shared. It would be nice if we had some module boundaries here so that web is not allowed to import from server. So let's add some linting. So we're going to install the ESLint plugin and the linter plugin, and then we added some extra package versions here to make sure that the typings work based on what's already in this repo. We need a root eslintrc.json file. That doesn't exist already, so we'll make that. And okay, and most of this in here is copied from the existing web eslintrc.json file. And then I need to update the web eslintrc.json. And this is making sure that it extends from the root one. So we have to do the same thing for server. We've got a basic eslintrc file here. Server eslint, save that. And our shared is the same as the server setup. JSON. Oh, this is actually the wrong snippet. There we go. All right, so this is exactly the same file, and then we need to define our lint script in here for both of these. Lint, and then we just run ESLint on the source folder. Same thing for shared. Add a script, lint, and ESLint source. Okay, we got this. All right, let's see if this also works. So we'll run that, and while that's running, we're going to define some tags here. We're going to add tags to here. We use the nx property, define tags, and this is going to have a tag of scope server. And then for shared, we're going to have a tag of scope shared. And for web, here, tags scope web. All right, I think we're on track. Okay, so that all those lint steps passed, and let's add some rules here. Right now, this rule says anything is allowed to depend on anything else. So we want to be more strict here, saying server can only depend on server and shared, web can only depend on web and shared, and then the shared can depend on shared itself. Looks like I haven't saved some of my changes, so we'll do that. Okay, now we'll run this again, and if we go back to the client side here, just to see if, why is this failing? Web and shared, so did I not save the shared package JSON? That is scope shared, that's right. And then web, scope web. What am I missing? 9. Yeah, let me restart the ESLint server. I have a feeling there's something else going on, but okay, so maybe that is right. Okay, then I'll do server. If I import from server source types, there we go. Then we have the correct error here. Perfect. So that was working. All right, so now we have module boundaries. 9 minutes in, and we have module boundaries. Okay, so I just made this shared project here, and so I could probably make another one myself. But somebody else on the team, they might have trouble making a new project, and they might not make it the same way I did, and so they might make mistakes. So I'm going to let's make a generator, so we can make a new library and get it set up the correct way every single time. So we're going to add the nx plugin package here, and we're going to create a plugin. Making a plugin, we'll call it local. All right, I got 5 minutes. I can see Laura, she's getting ready. Making a new plugin, we're going to make a generator, we'll call it library. We'll put it inside a local, we'll call it library. And, okay, so here under local, this is where a generator is defined. Basically, we want to take all these 3 configuration files and put them in the files folder here. So here in this index.ts file, it's replacing this name with whatever name you put in when you create your generator. So I'm going to update this with template. So VS Code is not complaining about the syntax here. This one is fine. It can just be static. This one I'm going to update to add .template at the end here and replace shared with whatever name they put in. And we'll let them put in their own tags. And .template. Okay, this is high pressure scenario here. Can we make it? All right, so we've got the template files in here. Now the generator code. We need to update this. So here it's just putting out the files, stamping out the files from the files folder, and we're updating the package.json here to include the new package we created in our workspaces array inside of package.json because we're using npm workspaces here. Then we also need to update our spec file here because we updated the code. This is just making sure that the workspaces array gets updated correctly. Okay, let's run everything again. Every step along the way here, we're checking to make sure, is this still a functioning repo? Can we stop at this point and everyone still be able to use the repo? Okay, something failed, and it is because in our local package here, 3 minutes. All right, in our local package here, we've got an extra dependency that's not actually being used. So we need to remove that. Okay, success. Everything's working. I'm going to commit all this. We have generators. And I'm going to run the generator library. NX detected that we've got 2 different library generators. We'll use our local one. We'll make a new package called test. And we have here a test folder. And it's updated. It's using the word test in there. And here in package.json, we've got test defined in workspaces. Perfect. It's working. But we don't actually need it, so I'll remove it. Okay, good. We have generators. Let's use some executors. So in the web, we've got these scripts defined. We've got build, dev, lint. A lot of them are using Vite, so let's add the Vite plugin. And we're going to create a project.json file. All right, so this one is defining build. These are pretty basic targets here for build and dev and lint, just using the Vite executor. So this one's using the lint executor. And we're going to remove from our package.json all the scripts that we moved over. I'm intentionally leaving in the test CI script just to show you that you can kind of mix and match. If you want to leave some scripts in your package.json and put some in project.json, that's allowed. NX will find the targets wherever they're defined and just kind of combine the configuration files together. All right, so let's run this. Running everything. Okay, so let's see, you can see that it found the web test CI script correctly. And okay, our web build failed. This is because when you run a package.json script, the current working directory is the project folder itself, whereas when you run it as an executor, the current working directory is the root. So we need to update these paths here. We got post CSS updated, and we need our Tailwind config updated web. All right, let's run this again. All right, so all of these are running. It's the web build that failed before. Let's see if it passes. Okay, we've got 30 seconds. We've got executors working. Last step, can we do the nx migrate in 30 seconds? Let's see. So nx migrate, everything that we've got, everything that nx knows about, nx migrate latest. Everything that nx knows about, it can update. Uh-oh. I almost said 15. Oh, okay, all right. Well, we didn't make it, but very close. Everything NX knows about it can update for you. It can update your configuration files, update your package versions. And the hardest part of me doing this demo was all those extra NPM download versions that I added to the to the downloads, and making sure the correct version is set up is coordinating with the NX plugins that are installed. And so if you're on NX and using NX executors, NX will take care of those versions for you. So there it is. We got migrate working. And in almost 15 minutes, we did a package-based repo into an integrated repo. And the whole point of this is that at any point in that process, you could commit what you had, and everything would work. People would not be interrupted in their work, and you could just decide to stop there if you wanted to, because it's still functioning. You're still using the power of NX to do what you need to do. So no matter where you are on the spectrum between package-based and integrated, I want you to know that NX wants to be your ground control support crew to help you be able to accomplish amazing things. So thank you very much.